All right, I have been excited about this for the last couple of weeks, and this is the book right here. It's an inspiring story from a young man from right here in San Diego who lived on our streets. He was homeless most of his life and found a way to pull himself out of that and make something of himself. Michael Gaulden is here to talk about My Way Home. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to meet you.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Well, tell me, okay, so first and foremost, the book, I have been reading it. I just got my hands on it this morning. It is making me cry. It's amazing. Tell me and tell everybody at home about your story.
Well, in a nutshell, I was homeless from around ages 7 to 17, so about 10 years, approaching 11.
Okay, and what does that mean, homeless, in San Diego?
That means, sleeping outside, park benches, staircases, shelters. St. Vincent de Paul, El Cortez, I did the rigor, tents, car, anything you could think of. We're talking about extreme starvation, desolation, disparity, no money, and you're at the worst, the lowest of the underside of American capitalism, and that's what we're talking.
7 years old to 17.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do as a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old when you're living in a car or living on a park bench? How do you do that?
You cry and you scream and you suffer. There's no way out of it, and that's just how that's my upbringing. And it's just bad, and it's just grim, and no one has any answers for you. And I work at the minor school right now where we have those kindergartners, they cry and they scream. What else can you do?
And they're in it right now too.
Right now.
And we see homelessness here in San Diego. It's a huge issue right now. And you lived it your whole life.
Yes, ma'am.
How is it that you were able to, we're going to talk about your accomplishments in a minute, but how is it, given what you were dealing with, park benches, living in cars, living on the street, drugs around you,
everywhere,
arrests happening around you. How is it that you were able to pull yourself out?
It was hard. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because when you're a homeless male in San Diego, the statistics say it's impossible for you to succeed. And every time I tried to succeed, I was marginalized. So I had to be very resilient and search for opportunities. And I was able to get an opportunity as a custodian intern for San Diego High during my high school years, which was horrible. But I understood hard work paid off, and I was able to save up enough money to move my family out of our car and into our first apartment at age 17. But it was just work, and it was a grind. There was no magic escape button. As you said, there's drugs everywhere, there's criminality everywhere. And you have to be focused not to fall into that, because it's everywhere, and I've lost friends.
Yeah, you have. I was reading the book, and you go into almost every one of those episodes when, people around you are selling drugs and getting caught by the cops, and you got caught up in it. Not because you were selling drugs, but just because you were with them. You were just there. I want to talk to you about the mentality that you have. Where does that come from? The mentality to do something greater with your life.
Well, for myself, my mother instilled in me early that I couldn't end up like my father. My father is serving 15 years to life in prison for murder. My grandfather was murdered in prison. My great-grandfather was killed. So when I came out, everyone said, this boy is lost. And something about that really upset me. Why didn't I deserve an opportunity? Did my circumstance tell you my character, or can I do that? Does my circumstance define me, or shouldn't I define me, but what I do, my actions? And that's what I had earlier. People might not care about my life, being homeless on the street, but I care about my life. And the only way to make it better is to work hard and be a productive member of society. And it was really hard, but I understood that's the only way to make it better.
Yeah. Okay, so against all the odds that we've just laid out for everyone at home, against all of those odds, against all of that, as a Trojan, yikes, but congratulations, unbelievable. You got a full ride scholarship to UCLA. You found a way to get out of the system and into higher education. And you bettered yourself through that. What was that moment like for you when UCLA said full ride?
Well, I didn't even want to apply to UCLA. I was telling Christiana, the founder of Reality Changers, that why would they want a homeless kid like me? You have kids from all over the world with, great lives. Why would they want the scum of the earth, sewage of society? And so when he made me apply. When I applied, it was that fulfilling moment of your life that you've been waiting for. It was just words I couldn't describe, because I was no longer a homeless boy. I was a Bruin, and, and it changed my life forever.
It certainly did. And now I love that now that you've graduated from UCLA with a wonderful, with a degree in, your degree is in?
It's in Poli-Sci and African American Studies.
Okay, so wow, that's 2 degrees, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you graduated 2 degrees from UCLA, and now you've decided to come back home to San Diego.
Yes.
Tell me about your work at the Monarch School now and why you chose to come back to that.
Right, so I'm the internship coordinator for the Monarch School, and I'm the career development coordinator for the Monarch School. So essentially, I'm in charge of anything career related, as far as, you know, college fairs, career inventories, helping kids find those career pathways. And I run an internship program where I give them work readiness training, which focuses on soft skills, job training, mock interviews, that sort of things. And I send them to work in the real world, such as San Diego Zoo and the education department, the Ruby Fleet Science Center. And I came back to Monarch because I'm looking into my past. It's K through 12 homeless kids. That's the story of my life. Who better help a homeless kid than a former homeless kid? You know?
Well, Michael, you are an inspiration. And, you know, also we want to give a shout out to Reality Changers, which really does great work in this community and takes kids that are really in a tough place and gives them the hope and the and the confidence that they need to do better in life. So the book On My Way Home is out.
It's out, yeah.
Congratulations! Hey, wonderful. There is going to be a book signing at Reality Changers on Monday from 5 to 7. You're going to be there.
I'll be there.
Signing these books.
Yeah, you'll find kids there, a bunch of Reality Changers students with awesome stories, searching for their path to get into college just like myself. You'll get to meet the board, and it'll be a wholesome event, and it should be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can tell you that I personally went to Reality Changers, and it changed my perspective too. I mean, the kids are phenomenal, as are you. Congratulations on the book. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Good Morning San Diego.